personal injury case has many aspects to it, from the time that a client calls up until the time that you hand them a settlement check. Hi, my name's Joseph Donahue and I'm a partner at Block O'Toole & Murphy. From the outset, when you speak to a personal injury lawyer, they should be asking you detailed questions about the happening of the accident, the injuries you sustained, the medical treatment that you've undergone, as well as their background in terms of who they are, where they come from, and what their life has been like prior to the accident and since the accident occurred. Once an attorney is retained, the attorney is going to perform a complete and thorough investigation into all aspects of your case. That includes the happening of the accident, the injuries you sustained, the medical treatment that you've undergone. Once the attorney has determined that a cause of action exists, meaning that someone is responsible for the accident and that you've been injured, the attorney is going to file a lawsuit. The lawsuit is going to be filed against those responsible for the happening of the accident in the venue where the action should be commenced. The beginning of the lawsuit is only the beginning. Once the lawsuit is commenced, there is a lot that is going to go on during the pendency of the case. The attorney is going to gather information from the attorneys that represent the defendants, and that information could be physical evidence, documents, photographs, videos, or other evidence that comes up in all types of litigations. Your attorney is going to then provide the defense with information and documents that they're entitled to receive. This process is called discovery, where each side gets to discover or examine information, documents, and evidence that is important or relevant to the case. Your attorney is also going to make sure that depositions are held. Depositions are where the attorney representing the other side gets to ask you questions under oath about all aspects of the case, including how the accident happened and your medical treatment. Your attorney will then get to ask questions of the defendants in terms of how the accident occurred and what led up to the happening of the accident. Once that discovery is completed, your attorney is going to have experts retained on the case to determine who's at fault and to determine issues like what injuries you've sustained, what medical treatment you've undergone, and what medical treatment you may require in the future. Experts may also be retained to determine whether or not a person is able to return to the workforce, and if they're able to return to the workforce, in what capacity. This is done to determine what the economic loss is as a result of the happening of the accident. The economic loss is the cost of past and future medical care, past and future loss of wages, benefits, and retirement income if you're not able to return to work, or if you're not able to return to work in the same capacity as you did prior to the accident. Once all that information is obtained and analyzed and provided to your adversary, your attorney is going to tell the court that you're ready for trial, and then the work really begins. Getting ready for trial is very complicated, very time-consuming, and requires a hard work and dedication. While the case is getting ready for trial, your attorney may then enter into settlement discussions with your permission, where they work with the attorneys representing the defendants and their respective insurance carriers to determine if a resolution can be reached prior to trial. If a resolution is reached, the case will be concluded. If a resolution is not reached, the case may go to trial, and a jury will determine what award, if any, you're entitled to. Some people ask, why do I need a lawyer? Why can't I just handle my personal injury action on my own? Handling a personal injury action on your own is a big mistake. For someone who's not familiar with the procedural requirements for a personal injury lawsuit, it can become very complicated and the consequences can be significant. Failing to file claims in a timely manner, failing to follow the procedures of the court, all can lead to your case being dismissed, which would forever bar you from recovering for your accident-related injuries. Defense attorneys will be well-versed in the law, well-versed in procedure, and well-versed in negotiating cases. Whether it be the defense attorney or the insurance company, they will never provide you with full and fair compensation if you are handling the case on your own and without the assistance of counsel. In the end, If you choose to handle your personal injury action on your own and without the assistance of counsel, your case will suffer. If you hire a lawyer to handle your personal injury case, that lawyer has the privilege of working for you. As I always say to clients, you're the boss. I am here to work for you to do the best job possible to bring a successful resolution to your case. For that reason, it's important that the attorney keeps you up to date on all developments with the case. It's important that the attorney contacts you routinely to find out how you're doing. Also, to inform you as to all the developments in the case, the status of the case, what is being done, what's going to be done in the near future, and what you expect to happen as the case progresses. The attorney should never make you promises. The attorney shouldn't tell you at the outset of the case of what your case is worth or what the resolution is going to be. But what they should tell you and what they should guarantee you is that you will give 150% effort to bring their case to a successful resolution. While undergoing treatment, frequently there's problems with insurance coverage. Coverage to pay for the medical care that you require. That coverage could come through workers' compensation benefits. It could come through no-fault benefits. And a lot of times, somebody needs to interact with the insurance company. It's important that the lawyer is available to reach out to the workers' compensation adjuster, to the no-fault adjuster, to find out what paperwork they need for approval for treatment that a doctor has recommended. It's very helpful when a lawyer is willing to do that and able to do that, to take that extra work off their client's shoulders so they can just concentrate on getting better. When a case reaches a conclusion, a lot of times there are extensive liens that need to be paid back. Liens from insurance companies, liens from medical providers. As a personal injury lawyer, you should be ready, willing, and able to take care of that for your client. Contact those lien holders. Ascertain whether those liens are valid, meaning whether they legally are entitled to repayment. Do everything you can to reduce those liens to the lowest amount possible to make sure that the compensation goes where it should, in the pocket of the person that's been injured. These are all things that a personal injury lawyer should be ready, willing, and able to do.